What's up, guys? Jason up in New Age Revolution down here in the very bald cave. That's right. I like this backdrop. Like, there's a ton of stuff going on. It's I think I got to give that warning that the PlayStation gives prior to playing video games. If you have any issues with seizures, you should probably look away. There's a lot of stuff going on. All right, interesting turn of events here today. I just did the video update on Ring King and mentioned the Bush concert that I went to this past Saturday. Well, lo and behold, the children's mother has tested positive for COVID just about 20 minutes ago, and so she's tucked away in her room. Now it's likely that one of the children, if not both of the children, are going to get it. If she had it, or if she got it on Saturday night, I think Liam slept in her bed with her. Sunday night and Monday night, last night. So he's fine right now. I really hope he doesn't get it, because then it's going to just circulate through the whole house, because I'm the children's caretaker right now. So I'm going to do everything I can to help them avoid it. She's locked in her room, and so far we're all okay. But I had to be morally correct, and I had to tell my office. And so now, therefore, I am not welcome back until Saturday. And nobody's there on Saturday anyway, so I'll be back there Saturday anyway. Unless I start, obviously. I'll test before Saturday and see where I'm at. I don't want to infect anybody. So that's that. That sucks. But that's not why we're here. That's not why we're here. No, indeed. We are here because I just put up a title that is gripping the country. This is going to go viral. I predict this is going to go, because I said that I just discovered and finished the greatest movie in the history of movies. Asterisk. If you are a ridiculously obsessed 80's nerd like I. What is the movie? Well, I'll tell you how. I'll tell you in a minute. So this movie hit Blu-ray. I thought hit Blu-ray for the first time like last year. It came out as a steelbook last year. Of course, was never in stores, and then went on Amazon from $24.99 or whatever, then was unavailable, then came back at like $79.99, $89.99. I think eBay started selling it for like $129 for this steelbook. So I was like, well, that's it for that. I'm not gonna pay that. And then my man Stephen Brown, I believe it was him, just showed us that he has it on a regular Blu-ray. And so I went on Amazon and looked up the non-steelbook version, and it was like $12.99. Yeah, $12.99. I am talking about Rad. Rad is officially the greatest movie of all time. Rad. I know that if you go on like, what is it, like the American, I don't know, like the movie ranking system, I know that it's like, the snooze fests of Godfather are up there. I'm sure, Star Wars is up there, Gandhi or Ishtar or whatever, however we rank movies. Forget all that. I am the true ranker of movies for the planet. And I am telling you that Rad is the greatest movie of all time. I watched this twice in the past 3 days. Twice. I love it that much. Let's talk about Rad. Rad is, I believe, it's got to be earlier than 85. It's 86. Okay, I don't believe that. It just, atmosphere-wise, it looks a little earlier than 86. I would have said 83 or 84. There's like no reference to, some of the, well, there is. There's one reference to pop culture of that era. Like there's a line in the movie, "Eat your heart out, Hulk Hogan," or something like that. So okay, so that puts it probably 84, 85, but it's saying 86. I'm not buying it. I don't think this movie was made in 86. I just don't. Who am I to argue with the actual movie? But I don't think it's 86. Whatever. Mill Creek puts out Rad. So what's Rad about? Well, it's Karate Kid meets BMX racing. Okay, so here we go. We've got a fella named Crew Jones. First of all, I'll tell you what it's all about, and then I'll tell you why this is one of the movies that falls into the visually iconic category. Okay, visually iconic, kind of like my head. Visually iconic. We've got a movie all about BMX racing, BMX tricks, BMX bikes. It's a bike movie. Okay, and we start off in this small town, where there's a gang, a crew, a group, if you will, of kids that are all BMXers, right? All bike riders, all bike racers, tricksters, that kind of deal. The superstar of the small town group is named Crew Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Crew Jones, played by Bill Allen. Okay, Crew Jones and his gaggle of friends are pretty much driving around this little town, bunny hopping and wheelies and like, there's a cop that chases them around, but it's a good cop and he kind of has a good time chasing them around. And it's almost like, catch us if you can kind of deal. And at the, one of the, this is all not part of the plot, but, the kids ride out from like behind a store and the cop's sitting there on his motorcycle and they kind of give a wink to each other and the cop chases after them and they're riding over logs and, construction sites and, they're fooling the cop. Finally, they get away and the cop gives them a little, you got me. One of the kids is Marta Kobler, I think her name is, or Marta Kober. Now, Marta was in Friday the 13th, part 2, I think. She was in Friday the 13th, part 2. And we got to be careful here because in Friday the 13th, part 2, she was 16. But she was, in 2 years, at 18, we would consider Marta Kobler a hottie. Well, unfortunately, she's fallen on hard times and I assume some addiction. And, Marta is, has changed a bit. Okay. So thoughts and prayers to her. She's part of the gang, which I thought was cool to see, Friday the 13th alumnus. I don't even know if that's how you, do you have to genderize alumni? I don't know. Alumnus. Nice to see a Friday the 13th actress in another movie. Okay, so they're the crew. They're the gang. They're riding their bikes. They're doing their thing. right? There's a lot of scenes inside, the pizza parlor, of course, the clubhouse, the hangout. I mean, it's just so, oh, that's why I don't think it's 86. I really think it's like 84. It's just such a trip back in time. Well, there's a bigger circuit. There's a big circuit, a BMX racing circuit that's got all this expensive sponsorship. And for some reason, they want to build a track. They want to have a race in this small little town. So they come and all the kids are like starstruck, and they're like, oh my God, this big racing company, sponsored by like Mongoose and all, it's legit BMX stuff. This big company comes to this small town, and they want to have a big race, right? They want to build their track. I think it's called Hell Track or something like that. They want to build their big track. They want to have this big race in this little town. And to promote it, they bring in the caravan. They bring in some of their top racers. They bring in like the stuffy Texas owner with the cigar. I'm the owner of this here racket. Of course he's corrupt, right? Of course. Well, Crew Jones has some talent, and Crew Jones says, I want in. I want to be a part of this, but you got to qualify. And, the owner the owner knows who it wants to win the race, right? He wants Bart Taylor to win the race. Bart Taylor is played by 1984 gymnastics Olympian Bart Connor. Okay. And, he's the darling of this big name, high profile, BMX circuit. Well, Crew Jones gets in. He needs to qualify, and he gets in. And so he gets to race. And it's televised, and there's money involved. Well, obviously, the owner doesn't like this. He doesn't like the idea that some no-name little town fella would dominate this race and make his guys look bad. So he tries to bribe Crew Jones. Hey, look here, I'll tell you, you take a fall. You throw the race is what you do. And that's best for your future there, kid, if you know what I mean. And Crew Jones says, I don't take no dive for nobody. Okay, and the owner and the circuit have their shenanigans. They try to keep old Crew Jones out, but he beats the system, and Crew Jones gets into the big race at the end of the movie. Okay, won't spoil it from you from there. But there is just so much beauty in this movie. Lori Loughlin, okay, Aunt Becky from Full House, is also part of this traveling group, but she's kind of good, right? She's a good girl, and she becomes interested in small town Crew Jones. She becomes interested in them. They kind of get together, and she supports him and helps him through the race. There are some of the most magical scenes in cinematic history in this movie. Okay, as the big circuit comes to town, you've got Bart Connor, and you got these two twins, these two beautifully 80s dudes, and they're legit twins. They're part of Bart Connor's crew, right? I keep saying crew but Crew Joe. It's part of Bart Connor's gang. Right, and they're the mean guys, Well, as they roll into town, they crash a school dance. In the most beautiful way ever, they ride their bikes into the school dance. Bart Connor and the two twins ride their bikes into the dance, and the dance kind of like clears out, separates, and the three dudes do these tricks on their bikes, but it's in slow motion, and it's set to romantic dance music. It is so beautiful. But that's not all. That's not all. Because after they're finished, well, now Crew Jones says, hold on a second. For some reason, he has his bike, and Lori Loughlin is there on her bike. And they don't know each other yet, but they start making eyes at each other. And through telekinesis, they're going to have their own little dance on their bikes, but it's much more romantic. It's much more loving. Something's happening between the two. And they're riding their bikes together in slow motion, and Crew Jones is standing on his little pegs, and he's got his leg up in the air, and he's going around, and so real slow with beautiful music. And Lori Loughlin, Aunt Becky, she's not a legit bike rider. She's not legit. So they have to really choose the scenes where she's actually on the bike. But then when the tricks are happening, it's a dude. It's a male stunt double for Lori Loughlin with the worst wig and hairy fingers, because there's close-ups of him like riding the bike and balancing on the bike with the bike, but you get to see his fingers and they're male. It's a dude. You can clearly see it's a guy. It's so great. Well, that doesn't end throughout the movie, because Crew Jones and Aunt Becky go riding all over town. You know, they're riding through the sunflowers, and anytime there's some actual bike stuff going on, it's a male stunt double, and it's just so great. So after this beautiful dance on a bike, they're in love now. So now they're together. And of course, there's like the bad girls who accompanied the popular bike circuit. There's the bad girls, just the stereotypical 80's blonde, big hair, chewing gum, just like looking at all the other girls like, oh my God. Like they're with the bad guys, and they're awesome because they're like in every scene, and they're just awesome because they love these two twin hotties. It's just so great. And I think because Bart Connor was like a big famous Olympian, like he really couldn't be a bad guy. So the movie, like, he starts off bad, but he's not really bad. Like, he doesn't want to tarnish his real image. So they're probably like, look, you're the bad guy kind of, but don't do anything to like piss off America. Like, be a bad guy, but don't. And at the end, you're going to turn good. There's a little spoiler for you. Because Bart Connor, the Olympian, can't be a bad guy in the movie, right? The twins, who cares about them? Nobody even knows who they are. So there's the big culmination with the bike race at the end. And all of the actors in the movie are BMX, like, superstars. I don't know who any of them are, but they're not actors. They're stuntmen, and they're legit bike riders. So during the race, there's jumps and ramps and stuff, and it's all played by, in fact, at one point during the race, they introduce them all, and I think they're all just legit, like, superstar bicycle people, not real actors. Uh-oh. Yeah, there's like the little sister, Crew Jones has like this little 10-year-old, 11-year-old sister who's just, a smart mouth and just tough and like loves her brother, and like, it's just so great. And the mom of Crew Jones is Adrian Balboa. It's Adrian from Rocky. It's Talia Shire or whatever. And of course, she's against this whole idea because the bike race is on the same day as the SATs. So she's upside down about this. You're going to throw away your whole future, Crew, for a bike race. And we don't even know what the prize in the bike race is. I think it's $100,000. I think. I don't know. Guys, I'm telling you. Run. Don't walk to your closest Blockbuster. Slap your card on the table and say, I want rad. Rent me rad. I'll take it for 5 days even. On your way out, get some microwave popcorn. You don't want to miss this. I'm telling you, This is the greatest movie of all time. It's the greatest movie of all time. All right. That's it. I'm gonna go try to avoid COVID. We'll see y'all next time. Good night now.